Hi, Ricky Salinas with Freedom Plumbers and Pumpers, Septic and Drain, coming to you from a beautiful home in Great Falls, Virginia. We are currently performing a real estate septic inspection for a for sale transaction. So let me show you what we inspected, and then we'll talk about the findings. We went ahead and started, we did the whole system. Okay, we started with sewer lateral 1 coming from this clean out into sewer lateral 2. It's actually the main sewer lateral. So this is actually sewer lateral 2 is this one going into sewer lateral 1, which is the main line. So we have 2 clean outs. Went and camera inspected into the tie-in and camera inspected from that clean out all the way to the septic tank. On a prior date, I'll share you the inspection which we did about a week, 2 weeks ago. We went ahead and inspected the septic tank from the inlet and outlet. This was exposed back then. We pumped it all the way down, did a flow test, and did a integrity test and double checked the walls, the cover, the ceiling, everything, including the penetration points of each one of those baffles. That's on a separate report, which I'll include in this one. We went ahead and inspected the riser, again, the entire septic tank, the baffle, through the bull run valve, which was switched to field B, and field B continues all the way over there. There's a distribution box, and I'll talk about that later. We switched the bull run valve, to field A and inspected up to the D box as well as its field. Now we're going to jump over to D box 2, which is in field B. This being field B. So we inspected this D box, its integrity, how it was built, as well as the surroundings of the walls, just to double check if it was installed to code. Went ahead and inspected the lines, which are 3 lines, line 3, line 2, line 1, all the way down to their endings. And it's hard to see, but point 1, point 2, point 3. Thankfully, we're able to make it all the way to the end. This is a rather large field, 70 foot long, with 3 lines, 6 foot on center each line, about 2 feet deep to the cover of the pipe. Same thing happened on, once we switched to field A, we have D box 1. Also plastic, identical installation. Also probed all the way around it just to make sure installation followed code. When I inspected line 3, line 2, line 1, all the way down to their ends, which is 1, 2, and 3. And was able to check the whole thing. Again, identical field, 2 feet deep to the cover of the pipe. Materials of the pipes are PVC header lines, which is pretty standard. And then transitions into corrugated, perforated all the way down for the drain field lines. Each one of these lines is bedded in gravel. Okay, so now we're going to proceed with the findings. When it comes to the findings of starting at the very top, unfortunately we do have a couple defects in the sewer lines. That's in both sewers. Some of these defects were reported prior or previously, and we're going to re-report them in this report as well. So with that being said, the sewer line that comes from this cleanout and turns and goes down has a very minor belly between these 2 points. And when I mean minor, it means the camera goes underwater and I can see the water line, but we're still underwater, which means this area has restrictions. And then from here, it makes a turn and ties in to this sewer lateral, which is coming from inside the house from that cleanout, obviously. And in this area of the pipe, this sewer lateral has many defects in the connections, holding water, making it difficult to get through. But once we get past this area, we continue all the way to the septic tank, which is that little flag. And between this point and that point, there's multiple areas where the pipe bellies. Okay, so in order to fix this, unfortunately, there is no other way besides digging down, exposing the pipes from here to here, from here to there, removing this old pipe that's already had muscle memory in it, if you want to put it that way, and installing brand new PVC, preferably Schedule 40, completely bedded in gravel with about a 4 to 6 inch layer of gravel underneath the pipe, having a grade of no less than 1/8 of an inch per foot because it is sewer, and backfilling and compacting. So this right here does require mechanical repair. When it comes to the septic tank, you'll see on the prior report, septic tank has no cracks, no breaks, no root intrusions. Nothing to be concerned about within the septic tank itself. The concrete is in phenomenal shape. There's nothing that would show any kind of threat. Comes to the riser looks very good. Its areas of connection to the septic tank also show no cracks, no breaks, no root intrusions. Very good shape, a little bit dirty, to expected. This is a septic tank after all. When it comes to the outlet baffle, that is a PVC outlet baffle in phenomenal shape. If there's one thing I would request, maybe for the future, to follow code and protection of these fields, is to install a filter right here. A filter goes here. It's accessible from this riser, and once a year gets cleaned out by either the homeowner or a pumper company like ourselves. We pull it out, clean it all down, stop all that sludge from exiting this tank and entering our field, shortening its expected life. So that little filter, that small investment, will extend the lifespan of this field way beyond expected. Let's put it that way. From its 20-year design to much longer, let's put it that way, as long as you use it correctly. So anyways, moving on. Moved into this bull run valve, which some people call it a switch valve. It looks like it was recently replaced, or it has been very well maintained. It's a beautiful valve, no dirt inside of the hub itself or the riser. I went ahead and flipped it with the key, and it flips very smoothly, no resistance, phenomenal valve. Once I got here, it was already switched to field B, so we took the camera all the way to field B. We're gonna go there. This D-box, made out of plastic, was probed all the way around. As per the code, the D-box should have a concrete encasing all the way around it. At least current code indicates that. It doesn't have that right now, but it does seem to have gravel up to more than half of the box itself, which is protecting it. It's not allowing it to cave in, which is a big problem that happens with plastic boxes, is that they cave in on themselves because they don't have any support, which is why the code requires this concrete casing so that those walls are reinforced and the dirt doesn't push in on them. But anyways, aside from that, box is absolutely beautiful, nicely leveled, 3 PVC lines. Can't see them right now. Its twin sisters over there, we'll show you later. And then we sent in the camera into each one of these lines. Line 1, line 2, line 3. What we found in these lines is what appeared to be grass clippings or roots and buildup of dirt and other items very heavily accumulated in this area. I show roots because I do see root intrusion, but I can't call it 100% root intrusion without actually doing a thorough cleaning. And all 3 of these lines show their biggest buildup in the same location. It's really in the first 10 to 15 feet within the transition from PVC to perforated corrugated, which goes all the way down to its sister flag over there. Again, same thing. These perforated corrugateds have buildups and what appears to be root intrusion. Root intrusion can only really be fixed by removal of pipe and reinstallation of pipe, which is why I don't want to call it full root intrusion. There's a chance that this cleaning with a hydro jetter might be able to be just enough. We go ahead and clean it with a jet, or anybody cleans it with a jet, pulls it into the D-box, and then pumps out the D-box so that whatever we pulled out of this thing does not go back into the lines. Okay, so cleaning into the D-box, pump out the D-box, get it nice and clean, and set it all good. Aside from that, the rest of the field looks phenomenal. It's a great field. It's nice and large. It's about 70 foot long, 3 separate lines, again 2 feet deep, and about 6 feet apart from each other. Okay, so the size of this field is definitely good. What's also really cool about this field is that its original plans, show that this particular area right here allows for 2 more lines, similar length, 70 feet, in reserves. So field B has that, and field A has something identical as well. So if you ever wanted to upgrade this system in the future, you already have it planned for it. You just got to get a permit. So really cool. Moving on to field A. Field A, we went ahead and hit that bull run valve again and switched it to move it to field A. And it's identical. So we have a distribution box that's plastic. It does allow for 6 lines, only 3 are being utilized. Little green dials are there to allow for the flow to enter in each one of those lines identical. Again, probed all the way around the box looking for concrete, was unable to find it. Felt gravel, and it looks like the gravel is going to up to half of the wall. Now when I mean pushing in the walls, you will notice that wall right here, it's bowing just a little. It doesn't look like it's going to bow any further, but there it is. And that's a clear explanation why concrete is the recommended way per code to be encasing these boxes. But this box looks like it held up pretty well, and I don't see it having any other issues. Aside from that, we went ahead and did forgot to tell you, we did very heavy 10-minute hydraulic flow tests on both of these lines where we ran water for 10 minutes at high flow. None of them backed up. None of them show standing water in their systems. It works, the entire system looks really, really well. So hydraulic load, ching, passed. Okay, on the inspection of these lines, we went through line 3, line 2, line 1, took them all the way down to their ends. And what we found was these two lines are mostly okay. They have a little bit of buildup here, a little bit of buildup there, not terribly unusual. However, line 1, you'll see it in the images, has a lot of buildup, specifically closer to the middle and the end. There's a flag that shows it. And this buildup is in the form of dirt. Not sure how that got in there. I don't see it being coming in from a break or anything like that, but there's a lot of dirt sitting in this line. And it's in some places occupying over 70% of that pipe. So again, all of that goes hand in hand with what I mentioned earlier. Power washing these lines, all 6 of them, sending in a hydrojetter. Whether it's Freedom Plumbers or any company that you choose, sending in a hydrojetter, pulling back all of that mud into each one of those boxes. And any roots that might be in there, or any grass cripplings or any kind of vegetation that might have just laid in the pipe, pulling it back into those D boxes and then pumping and cleaning each one of those boxes again and making sure that these pipes are nice and clean for the rest of its use. Okay, so major recommendations before I even recommend any kind of excavation or repair like what's being recommended over there. So anyways, that concludes this system. As of right now, system is functional. I pass most of it except for that sewer. That sewer fails inspection. Everything else looks good, it's functional. Major recommendations are made for the cleaning of these pipes. That's what I got. My name is Ricky Salinas. I'm with Freedom Plumbers and Pumpers, Septic and Drain. My phone number is 703-895-4109. My email is ricky@freedomplumbers.com, and my website is www.freedomplumbers.com. Thank you very much. Once again, we're coming to you from Great Falls. We'll catch you on the next one.